in industry after industry, what separates the winners from the losers is that the winners know how to harness the power of their data to make better business decisions. That's right. The winners have gotten religious on data analytics. And that's why Salesforce spent a fortune to buy Tableau to expand their business intelligence capabilities. That's why Google snapped up the privately held Looker for $2.6 billion. And it's why, I like Splunk and Alteryx so much. They've been fabulous. But if you want to understand this kind of theme, sometimes you have to know what the privately held startups are doing, which brings me to ThoughtSpot, a company that offers a search engine-style analytics platform, the kind of platform that even people with no technical sophistication can use to analyze billions of rows of data from any source in seconds. I think this kind of accessibility could be the future of the industry. So let's take a closer look with Sudheesh Nair. He's the CEO of ThoughtSpot. Learn more about the company and its prospects. Mr. Nair, welcome back to Mad Money. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, Jim. As they say in talk radio, long-time listener, first-time caller. Thank you so much for having me on the iconic program.
I love that. Okay, I need you first to describe what the company does, the basics, and the challenges you're facing right now.
Yeah, so ThoughtSpot combined the idea of bringing data analytics and artificial intelligence in the world of cloud. Now, that sounds like a lot of jargons and gobbledygook, but to really understand the reason for us to exist, why we need, when you have all these great companies that you just mentioned, we need to understand what changed in the last 5 years. In the last 5 years, there are two major changes that happened. And number one, most businesses have started collecting exponential amount of data from things like IoT, Internet of Things, and from mobile, from people. The second, to process and store this amount of data, more and more businesses have started moving them to cloud, public cloud like Amazon and Google and Microsoft Azure. So with this kind of tectonic shift happening in the architecture on data, you need new tools to make sense of the data that you collected so you can act better. That's why the ThoughtSpot is so relevant, and that's why we are doing well.
Okay, so I'm Hulu. I'm trying to figure out, I want more subscriptions. I'm trying to figure out what drives subscriptions. I hire ThoughtSpot to figure that out?
There are two things there. First of all, imagine going and pitching a program, a script that you want to give it to Hulu to say produce. People don't produce content without understanding how it is going to perform. For example, if you have a can of Coca-Cola sitting in front of you, there is a reason why it's there, because now it's a data-driven decision. Everything that happens in the script, the creative process, who gets to see what, when, all of those things are now decided with a view of how it is going to perform based on data analytics. So you can see that even before the program is aired, the creative process itself is heavily influenced by the data that goes into it. So customers like Hulu, they do a couple of things with ThoughtSpot. Number one, what we call product 360. So take a product and see how this product is going to perform around it. Who's going to watch it? Take your program. I mean, you are one of the most data-driven sort of programs in all of TV. And I'm sure that you probably get reports saying, what was your viewership like last week, right?
Well, what I do is try to figure out what stocks are most heavily traded and which ones are called up, which ones people are talking about. But I'm not nearly. I would love to hire ThoughtSpot. You kidding me? I mean, look, I could. I know to talk about Tesla every night. That's not exactly what I'm supposed to do. You guys actually would know what pops.
100%. So see, what happens is every time you get an answer, you have 10 questions that comes up.
Right.
What ThoughtSpot does really well is allow the person with the business knowledge but doesn't have the data knowledge, interactive SQL, Python coding, to interact with the data so you can build data-driven storytelling. And that's a powerful, powerful thing, because every customer is looking for that sort of personalized experience from the business. And to deliver that, you need to empower every business user to interact with the data and then deliver action that are bespoke for that customer.
Okay, so let's go through this, because what happens is you're describing a business that has far fewer failures because of the data. Because we used to know, for instance, the motion picture business, they can spend $100 million and have no idea what they're doing and have a bomb. You eliminate a lot of the bombs, which is why, for instance, in Netflix or Hulu, they were smart enough to know that they were making things that would be liked before they made them.
Yeah. So, I actually try to be very clear about this. I believe that there is place for both left brain and right brain, that is the intelligence analytics brain and the creative brain, to come together in decision making. In fact, that's why ThoughtSpot is so powerful, in the sense that a director like Martin Scorsese just built a 4-hour movie and released on iPhone, right, on Netflix. A lot of people are watching on iPhone, and he probably doesn't like the fact that it is not built for that form factor. His creative interpretation of how a frame will look like is still valuable. Human experience is extremely critical in the business decision making. But imagine now that person doesn't have curiosity tax. So I've been in the business of creating movies for the last 20 years, but now I can also interact with how the data is going to be without having to go through a middleman or a middlewoman. That changes the game.
Okay, well,
so what we are trying to do is to bring those together.
Okay, now I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, I want to own a share of ThoughtSpot. When can I do that?
Yeah.
You are the left brain and the right brain merger. I got to have it. When? I mean, because you got a nice couple bill valuation, and you seem like you're a real company, not one of those companies where you want to get on the plane smoking pot to Israel.
Well, I wish. I mean, I am in California, so let's not go there. But I'll tell you one thing. So prior to coming to ThoughtSpot, I've actually been through this ride of taking the company from nothing to IPO in 2016. It was Nutanix, and it was one of my most memorable experiences of the life.
And you know we have Nutanix, so and we like them. They're friends of the show.
Yeah.
Well, they're public.
Yeah.
When are you going to come public?
So the reason I mentioned that is because one thing I realized about going through that process is that when you go to public market, you better have predictability in your business.
True.
So with ThoughtSpot, what we have done is that we have assembled the team. We have the product. We have the product market fit. But almost all of our customers are in Global 2000. Okay. In fact, more than 30% of the Global 50 are our customers. Apple to Walmart to Cisco to ServiceNow to ExxonMobil, BT, Verizon, all of them. So with them, the challenge is that these are large deals. And we want to make sure that we stack them in a way so that we can deliver predictability to the street. So having gone through that journey once, as we are preparing ThoughtSpot, the thing that I am most focused on is making the business more predictable. So when we go out there, we can deliver quarter after quarter of beat and raise, which is what is necessary.
Okay, so just, we're going to leave it like this. I predict you're going to have a great stock, and you've got a great company. How about that, sir? Good enough?
I love it. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. That's Sudheesh Nair, CEO of ThoughtSpot. I find this stuff so compelling. I hope you do too. Stick with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.